Hello everyone, welcome to Legal Darshan. In today's video, we are going to talk about the schools of Muslim law and the sources of Muslim law. Schools and sources. Now, before coming to the schools and sources of Muslim law, it is widely known that Muslim law is a personal law of the Muslims, which is followed by the Muslim community in the world at large. It is a branch of civil law that regulates the personal matters governing to Muslims. Now, it is the family law of Muslim. Whenever we are talking of personal matters or family matters, we are going to look at four things. One is how the marriage will happen, how the succession will happen, what is the nature of guardianship in that particular religion, adoption, if whether adoption is permitted and if permitted on what criteria, and maintenance, how do we maintain the family in a particular religion. These are the issues of personal laws. So Muslim personal matters are governed by the Muslim laws. Now it is already known to us that Muslim basically relies on their own religious texts, especially Quran and Hadith and many other, which we are going to discuss later on. And they do not pretty much like the involvement of a legislature or any other authority, because according to them what they should do is command of their Lord of Allah, and this was based further calibrated by way of the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. Now Prophet Muhammad, he was he was idealized. He devoted himself in spreading the message of Islam in the society. And after his demise, after the death of Prophet, the Muslim community was divided into two categories. All right. Now, this particularly gave rise to the Shia and Sunni community in Islam. The Shia and Sunni sect, to be precise. All right. Now, after the demise of Prophet Muhammad, the first question was that who will succeed the throne? Who will be now sitting on as his successor? So now there were two contestants. There were two kind of people who were supporting two contestants. One was Abu Bakr, Muhammad Abu Bakr. He was also the contestant, and another one was Muhammad Ali. So there were two contestants for this post. Now this Abu Bakr, he was the closest ally of Prophet Muhammad, while Muhammad Ali was the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad. Okay. Now this Muhammad Abu Bakr, he was the first caliph, while Muhammad Ali was the first Imam. So there was a contest between these two people, that who will succeed to the throne of Prophet. Now the people who were supporting Abu Bakr and people who were supporting Muhammad Ali, they categorized themselves into two kind of sects in Muslim law that still persist today. One being your Sunni Muslims, and another being Shia. So even today, there is a demarcation of Sunni and Shias within the Muslim community, and even their laws are separate. All right. Now, when we talk of Sunni people and Shia people, further they have been divided into schools. Now, in okay, one more thing I want to add here: the majority of Muslim population belongs to Sunni people. All right, and in that Sunni population, 85% of people belongs to the Hanafi school. Hanafi school. So as we have schools like Mitakshara and Dayabhaga in Hindu law, and Mitakshara also has its branches spread as in Dravid school, Maharashtra school, Banaras school, Mithila school. Similarly, Sunni law also has these four kind of schools. First one is a Hanafi school, which has the maximum number of Muslim population. Then we have Maliki school. We have Shafari. This is also a school in Muslim law, and Hanbali. There are four kinds of schools in Sunni law, whereas there are two kinds, or we can say three kinds, but Zaydis is not much known. So Zaydis is also a sub-school of, sorry, a school of Shia community, Shia Muslims. And we have Ithana Ashari, Ithana Ashari, which has the maximum number of Shia community people. And second one is Ismaili. Now, the Bohra community that is often in discussion that also belongs to the Ismaili school of Shia community under Muslim law. So this is the bifurcation of how various schools emerged out in the Muslim law and why there is division. Now, one thing that has to be noted down is Sunni and Shia both follow the basic religious tenets of Islam, but they have their own way of application. So, for example, in Shia, there is a recognition of muta marriage. Muta marriages are a marriage for a temporary period for a limited number of months or maybe years, but Sunni law does not understand any such concept, right? So their basic tenets are more or less similar, but the application differs. So there is a difference in their succession laws also, there is a difference in their marriage norms also. Now, when we talk of sources of Islam or sources of Muslim law, as I was telling you earlier, that Muslim law, under Muslim law, the Muslim community does not like much interference because for them it is the command of their holy Lord, that is Allah, which has been calibrated by the works of Prophet or by the works we are going to talk about now. So there are sources of Muslim law. One is primary, another is secondary. So under your primary source, the main sources are yes, they are Quran, and there is Hadith, also called Hadith. All right. Then there is Sunnah. There is also Sunnah. Okay, so Quran is your holy book, which is the main document codifying the laws for Islamic community. Quran is the holy book of Islam, which is also known as Quran Sharif. Now your Sunnah is basically the tradition followed by Islamic communities based on what they have heard of Prophet following. For example, if they have heard of Prophet following a particular practice, for example, a practice of non-drinking alcohol, then that will be carried out as a traditional practice, which is not written anywhere. But since it has been known that this was practiced by the Prophet, Sunnah law is basically an oral form of Islamic rules, which people know that Prophet practiced it, and also we have to now practice it. Your Hadith, it is in written form. What Sunnah is in oral form, Hadith is in written form. So it is the views of Prophet, that Prophet, you know, he applied, the Prophet, Holy Prophet applied in his life, and it was codified further as the view of living life on based on sayings of Prophet Muhammad. Now there are two more sources which are not, as centralized as Quran or Hadith, but they are often used to interpret. So one is Isma, and another one is Qiyas. Now, the preference will always be given to Quran, Hadith, and Sunnah, but Isma and Qiyas are also used. So, Isma is basically the opinion of Muslim jurists. People who know their religion the most, their opinion is combined in the form of Isma. And Qiyas is basically analogical deduction of the sayings. Qiyas is analogical deductions. of how do we apply the law in day-to-day life. It is the analogical deduction of Sunnah, Hadith, Isma, and it is mainly mostly used in Shia law. Now, your secondary sources of Muslim law are Urf, Urf, we call it Tamul also, Tamul, which is basically the customs. Okay, जो कि कस्टम्स मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी में चले आ रहे हैं, जो कहीं लिखे नहीं है बट मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी फॉलो कर रही है, दैट इज अ सेकेंडरी सोर्स. If it goes contrary to what is written in Hadith or Qiyas, sorry, Hadith or Ijma or sorry, Hadith or Quran or Sunnah, then it will not be followed. Then there is legislation. It's not that there are no legislation in Muslim law, but Muslim people, Muslim community, they prefer their own command of the Prophet to be their own law. So we have legislation like Muslim Marriage Dissolution Act of 1939. It predates Hindu law. We must note that it predates Hindu Marriage Act. So they follow this. Then there is a 1985 Act on Maintenance of the Women. Then recently there was a Triple Talaq Act which was passed in 2019. So yes, there are also legislation, but they are secondary in nature. These legislation must be subjected to their primary religious law, and only then it will take their shape and form. Then there are judicial precedents. So whatever there are precedents relating to interpretation of Muslim law, for example, the cases like Shami Mara, the cases like Chan Begum, the case like most celebrated case like Shahabano Begum, Shaira Bano, all of these cases are also the sources of Muslim law, but they are secondary, which means that always the preference would be given to the primary sources of Muslim law. So I hope that this particular part, how the Shia and Sunni sect has evolved and what are the sources, how do we apply them, it is all clear to you. In the upcoming videos, we will talk about Muslim marriages, Muslim divorce, conditions of Muslim marriage, and succession laws in the Muslim law. Thank you everyone for staying tuned in till here. I hope you liked the video. This video was useful for you. For more such content, please stay tuned with us at Legal Darshan our YouTube channel. And for any feedbacks, any comments, any suggestions, any improvisations you want to give to us, you may write to us at legaldarshan@gmail.com, as well as you can drop the comment in the comment box below. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.